Yes, we are back. I didn't think I was going to be back on this Friday for Thank Potty It's Friday. But in our little WhatsApp group of Potty Mouth Garden Club, Soph put this little note saying it's happened again. And then there was a little there was a little voice recording as well. And
Yeah.
it was just gut wrenching to hear. Do you know what I mean? You could hear the kind of the sad, and I thought, I know this sounds, straight away I was thinking, oh, this is some content. I'll record content. You know what I mean? But it's been, well, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But it's all to do with your greenhouse and the storms. And if I'm
Yes.
right in thinking, is this the second time the greenhouse
Yeah.
and storms? So
Yeah.
right, yeah. Well,
In the space of a week. Literally, it's been probably just about bang on a week since I fixed it. And I went down, I was so confident as well. That's the worst part about it. I was so confident. I was like, oh, there won't be any damage because I fixed it. So I've done a really good job here. Gone down and gone, oh, it's bloody more pains than the last time. So
well, listen,
yeah.
I've got some you kindly sent over some photographs as well. But I thought we'd
Yeah.
just kind of a little bit just find out, because even, and I'm sure you must have told us, but I don't even know you. I just know you're Soph. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Soph the allotment newbie. So there'll be quite a few folks just know it. Oh, it's Soph allotment newbie. So I thought, oh well, just going back, and I'll ask a couple of questions just to see, who is allotment newbie, because now you're not allotment newbie now. Do you know what I mean? I think we mentioned this. You know what I mean? That kind of name's kind of going to stick with you. Do you know what I mean?
Just
Unless
gonna
you
have to
change it there.
rebrand.
So how long have you been gardening then, Soph?
Um, I want to say definitely got seriously probably around COVID time. I think that's when a lot of gardeners perked up, wasn't it? Around COVID
Mhm.
time, we didn't have anything else to do, so found some seeds and started growing stuff. But I would say gardening since 2020. But actual
Right.
plants, I got into house plants before actual outside gardening. So I've always had a little bit of knowledge of keeping things alive to some extent. um, so yes, let's say since 2020 properly.
Well, I seen again. It was in our little kind of WhatsApp group. You put a list, because we're going to do like a flower special.
Yes, yeah,
And you look like you're miles ahead of me, because you just thought, oh, I'm doing these this year.
yeah.
And there was a list, like I was like,
I've got
impressive.
so many.
Do you know what I
I've
mean?
literally got a Google sheet. Have you seen my Google sheet on it?
No, no.
I've got like 88 different varieties of flower seeds I'm gonna try and do this year. And that's just seeds, that's not including like tubers or anything else. So
Wow. So
yeah.
what? So why? And I'm not saying why flowers, but is flowers more than veg?
I think so, and you know, it's only since last year. I was all on the veg train, like, "Oh, yeah, have veg, self-sufficient, love growing your own sort of food and cooking it, prepping it, all of that." And then last year when I sort of, got a few dahlia tubers, because I saw all these girls that had, like, these amazing bouquets, and I was like, "Oh, it'd be so nice to sort of just help grow them and do them yourself." Do you know what I mean? You don't have to, like, go out and source them or pay for them. Just have your own homegrown flowers. So I did the dahlias, and I've been hooked ever since. I started looking to all the different kind of like they call it in bouquets like fillers, accents, and you've got your frillers, like your big open flowers. And
Right.
I was hooked. Yeah, hooked. So I
Wow.
want to do loads of different varieties now and see what I can sort of come away with, I guess.
Well, I think that I got, that silver grow from like a certain garden center. I'm not mentioning
Yeah.
it yet, in case it all goes. And I think their specialty is dahlias. Do you know what I mean? There's like,
Yes.
have like fields of them, and obviously the sell and show and sell the tubers and everything like that. So in
Yeah.
Audrey's, I think, not throwing down the gauntlet, but she's even giving away her seeds. So she can't
Yeah.
go like the winter stuff in the middle of summer. And I was like, oh, I might try, because all I've done so is just like
Absolutely.
Cosmos, and I forget the
Mhm.
other one. And it was Audrey, sent the bloody things over. Do you know what I mean? So
Got you started on them.
yeah. And I thought, well,
Yeah.
yeah, because like you say, how many times people fail on veg and brassicas especially, it seems to be the
Yeah.
kind of everyone wants one. You know what I mean? Like you think, oh, it's easy to grow, and then it just gets clattered by pests. And I've got friends that have built this lovely, gorgeous raised bed, and
Mhm.
the come and have a look at it, and it was all with the newly like planted in brassicas and everything, and a week later grub roots were getting them and
Going.
everything, and it was just, oh man.
I feel like it's not the same in the flower world, is it? You look at them and go, "Oh, that's nice," and then you just leave it and it looks great.
Then just you don't, you know what I mean? Let the butterflies come. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, let the
So
butterflies sit on it.
that
So
would be.
maybe that's maybe a bit of the appeal is less pests and just easier to
And
grow.
are you going to grow them more in your allotment? And because
Yeah,
I remember
I
Steve
think
was,
so.
you know, he was growing them and picking them and would walk down home with like a bouquet of flowers. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? And that
The
I never
sweet
got
peas,
it
wasn't it?
then. Do you know what I mean? So maybe I'll kind of give it a go. So is that your
Yeah, do it.
intention
Do it.
to grow that like loads on the
Yes, so I'm
allotment and then
kind of thinking like I suppose most of my knowledge comes from obviously consuming a lot of YouTube content, mainly like flower market, sort
right,
of, is that the right word for it? Flower markets, like the people that sort of have their own mini patches and they grow stuff to like sell at market, basically. That's what that is.
right,
And the way they do it's quite simple, really. It's literally just you have your and especially if you do it no dig style,
uh-huh.
you have your cut flower patch and it's literally a roll of cardboard, compost, a roll of something to block out the weeds for your path, and you keep doing that across the row. And then you just plant into it. So I think I'm gonna do a couple rows like that.
And I'm trying to think, what's the end goal then? Is it just to
Just
walk
make
home
my
with a
own
bunch of
bouquets.
flowers? Is
Yeah,
it right, right,
I
right,
think so. It's the I really like the idea of creating different bouquets, like the colours. Like I love colour theory and like combining all the different colours and seeing what you can come away with because you'll have it's the textures, isn't it? You have like your frilly sort of like grasses that you can combine with your big open dahlias, and you just kind of get that nice, I don't know, contrast in textures, and it's just interesting. So I think I'm interested in that kind of aspect of it, the
right.
artistic side, I guess.
Funny, you know, it's probably going to be an uphill struggle for me because I haven't done it and I'm colorblind. Do you know what I mean? Like
Are
on
you?
the all on the blue on the blues, reds, and greens, I think,
Yeah.
if I
So is that
remember.
what you can't see or can
Well, they
see?
just they seem to rock into each other. Do you know what I mean? You know
Really?
the colorblind test where it's the little colored dots and they make like a
Yeah.
number.
Yes,
None
yeah.
of them,
Seen
none of them I can get.
really?
No, no, I can get. Well, I can get the first couple, but then it just
Yeah,
no,
blurs into
not
one.
at all. Not at all. So I couldn't be
Oh.
electrician and I couldn't be in the forces, apparently.
Could you
Imagine me
could
in the
you imagine?
forces.
Me and my flowers. Here, have a
No,
flower.
but it's
What would you grow then this year then, Tony? What did
I
you say you were gonna grow?
well, I don't know. Honestly, I am it's even worse than fruit. I've got no idea. Do you know what I mean? I know
Mm,
cosmos and that's kind of it. And I must admit, mind you, they were all kind of self-seeded last year, and I got an
mm.
abundance of them to the point
They're
where I'm
good, aren't
thinking
they?
these are taking over the bloody allotment. Do you know what I mean?
Becoming a weed, are
Yeah.
they?
So, but I remember my mum, because my mum used to
Mm,
look after the allotment when the kids were kind of growing up. She kind of looked after it, and she would
yeah,
always have dahlias in one bed, like right next to the
yeah.
hut. That like there's a big potato bed there. It was always like full of flowers, you know, and like sweet peas and
They're
all that.
great.
And I thought just when Audrey mentioned it, and then I've seen your like list. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, God, hey, that's a book me
Give it a
idea.
try. I
You
think
know?
you should do dahlias then. I think you should attempt at least one dahlia tuber this year or a
Well,
couple.
I'm going to see your
Like, get
spreadsheet and
ahead.
see what's going on there as well, because I know
I'll
because
have to update it.
we've that's what I was just if anyone knows, I'm going to get hopefully Soph to kind of do another little show on a Friday with her, and it's all to do with like research and because data and research Soph is your you know what I mean
That's my
that's your
field,
thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you've done a few spreadsheets for me for other things. Do you know what I mean? You just rattle
Oh,
them off.
yeah, that was at the start. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I
yeah,
mean? I was like, I can't even
yeah.
do a bloody spreadsheet. You know what I mean? So looking for that.
Constantly on spreadsheets. That's why I live by them. So
So,
simple.
well, so I guess then, like you said, now you're still going to grow some veg.
Yeah, yeah. I'll still do some bits and pieces just to have because it's
Uh-huh.
just nice, isn't it? Just not having to go to when you're doing a food shop, most of it you just grab from the allotment. There's no better feeling than that. So I'll do brassicas and chilies and tomatoes and all of that. I've still got a polytunnel to fill, so I've still got the space for it. Really, I've got so much space,
That's
so I'm kind of not an issue. But
I forgot about
in
I forgot about your polytunnel. To be honest,
yeah, that's
like,
it.
God, aye. So
So
because
just I got space to fill.
what I was kind of alluding to is, well, you might not have a greenhouse the way this is going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, 'cause it's like, and this
I
is, well, this is, and it's a lovely greenhouse. So if it, tell me, it's a, am I right in thinking it's a Hall's greenhouse,
yeah,
and
is
it's,
it Coles Popular, isn't it? That's the one I think that's the standard one most people
you
find
got the
about.
lovely, is it like dark green or black color? You know what I mean? And as soon as I
Black.
seen that, I went,
Yeah,
oh, I slipped up there, slipped up there. And is it 8 by 6, or is it
8 by
bigger?
6. Yeah. No, 8 by
Right,
6 I think's about right. It's like 4 panels across, like
right,
lengthways.
right.
Yeah, I think that's the 8 by 6.
And we're kind of at that scene, like, like the videos of putting it up and was it getting sister involved in putting it up as well? Or your
Yeah,
dad, or, you know
sure.
what I
It
mean?
was mainly my little sister was there, but she didn't really help. It was me and my dad,
Just on
really.
phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty
But then,
much.
so last week, no, I'm trying to like go back and try and remember. Didn't the
Mhm.
door fall off anyways, like a while ago?
Yeah, it was I don't even think it was a storm. I'm not sure what happened. I just went up to the plot one day and I was like, "Oh, well, the black bin bag in my greenhouse seems to be flowing in the wind. Why is that happening?" So I got closer and I was like, "My bloody door is on the floor, just like perfect, like intact,
Yes,
just on the
that.
floor."
Uh-huh.
Don't know why to this day. Don't know why.
Blame your dad. Blame your dad.
Yeah,
Rushing to get home.
that's
That's, you know what I mean. That's the kind of. So
shoddy
that's
workmanship.
that happened, and I suppose when you rock up and you see that, again, you put your heart. You think, oh, do you know what I mean? Because the
Did
door,
drop
to be
down.
honest, especially if these horse ones are a fiddly,
Yeah.
and the instructions are no good whatsoever.
I wonder if that's do you remember we were speaking because we put our greenhouses up at the same time. We both and you sent me that video showing me how
Yes.
to there was certain bits and pieces that were going on in different ways that the instructions weren't telling us. I wonder if I've just put it on wrong. I really do.
Well,
Don't know.
I don't know if you can put it on wrong because it wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Now I'm just thinking
Yeah,
it wouldn't be aligned straight, and it
yeah,
might just like. I mean, mine was a little bit jittery, and I was thinking
yeah.
because the instructions are so shockingly bad, it's like
Bad.
ridiculous, to be honest. But I put a little bit of olive oil of all things on the runners, and it just,
See, you've got the runners, haven't you? So when you put you've got it on, you've got the 2 runners at the top, right?
yeah.
If you try and remember back. And then it might be the bottom. So how did you put the bottom on? Do you remember? Did
There's
you
like
just like
the part of the bottom. You fix another bit on, which I don't think even tells you in the instructions. Fits another bit on.
yeah.
That's a little bit. Where's the camera? Goes down in a ziggy, and that little ziggy
Oh,
bit
yeah.
clicks
That
into
weird thing.
like a like that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Maybe
mean?
that's where I've gone wrong. I might have to check. Might have to go back to the video you sent me.
Well, it's.
Do a
I mean,
double
it
check.
probably. Because I noticed on one of your photographs as well, there's a greenhouse behind your greenhouse.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's a Halls one or not, but it gives you
Yeah,
most of them are kind of probably on the same design, like slot in the top,
right.
slot in the bottom, and then just this kind of sliding
Mhm.
action. So
That's it.
you rocked up about a week ago,
Yeah.
and was that a storm? That because then I seen a photograph that
Yeah.
your door was off, but your door was smashed. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was so what have we had now consecutively, like 3 storms. So Storm Henk was the one that's broke it the first time. And yes, door was on the floor, smashed panel. I think it's the same panel actually that I brought and replaced. Smashed already. So that was silly.
The glass cutters are going to know you by first name. You know what I mean?
That's it. I'm gonna
Morning,
have to go
so.
over. Yeah, I'm back again. Every storm. But yeah, the door came off and the exact same thing. It smashed the front panel at the bottom. Really annoying.
See, that would it's just I dread that happening. To be honest, you know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
it's more so that you know what I mean. It's like getting it cut to the right size. You
Mhm.
know, I don't know. Did the glass cutters, glaziers know? You know what I mean? Oh, it's a
Well,
Halls. Yeah, we do
I
them.
think they know. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because when I
Uh-huh.
went in, the guy was like, "Well," I said, "Oh, I've got 4 panes smashed. Like, how easy is it to fix?" And he was like, "We have them by stock. They're just on the shelf." So
Right.
they must know. They
Uh-huh.
must know. And
Uh-huh.
because he was like, "Is it the 610 by 610?" I was like, "Yeah." So he's like, "No worries, I'll go get that one." And then there was a smaller, 229 by 610, I think, as well. And he was like, "I'll just cut it. Take me no longer than 5 minutes." And honestly, it did. I was in and out of there so quick.
Right.
30 quid as well. Wasn't bad.
Well, you see, you mentioned that as well in our little chat, and
Yeah.
I didn't, I was just going off the horse thing for a sheet of my glass. It's 50
Oh,
odd pound.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
and if
ridiculous,
one's
isn't
going to
it?
go, you think there's going to be more going to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
And then
thinking,
think, how much did you pay for your greenhouse? Because you start to think, would it be a write-off at some point if
I know.
you paid for a brand new one?
And it's, well,
Bad.
I mean, I was just, I never even thought you can do these sort of things, go around other glaciers. I was just going off the
Yeah.
website, and then I noticed the class it's on a delivery, so it's like a week on Friday. You know
Have
what
you
I
seen
mean?
the delivery cost as well? It's an
No,
extra
but
like 30 quid on
oh,
top.
no, I didn't. I didn't.
I did it. I went through the basket. I was panicking. I went through all these websites. I went to the basket and I was like, "Oh, it's getting to like 90 or quid." Went to the checkout, extra 30 quid. And I went, "Oh, no, not. I can't. I'm not
No.
doing it."
Is
A lot.
we'll get to, yes, last night's event. You know what I mean? But what day is today? Is it Tuesday today?
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the last night's event, Monday night. You know what I mean? When kind of actually when we were all playing giddy on,
Yeah.
on potty chat, you must have been up
The
there.
storm was, yeah.
Did you go
Bracing
when
the
were
storm.
you there when we were doing the or was it before? Did you go? Did you
Um,
know? How did you find out it gone again?
it was literally. So what had happened during the evening. So yeah, I wouldn't have got to it whilst it was happening, but the very next day I had to go to work. But as soon as I finished work, I went straight down there and obviously saw it
Right.
all smashed and was like, "Oh my
And
god."
this time it's kind of it's smashed a little bit more than just the door, isn't it? It's kind of
So this time it's
it's not
two rooms.
laughing matter. I think you're just laughing because you like, you know what
I'm
I mean?
trying to
What
help
else can you
myself.
what else can you do in these
I am. Do
situations?
you know what? It's not the worst. I always have to say it's
I've seen the
bad, but
pictures, so
it could have been worse. It could have been worse. But I'm kinda happy. So the first time it broke, or smashed and the wind got in, the door obviously I think the wind got under the door wasn't on properly, so that just opened up like everything to crack. Second time, so obviously I fixed it. Second time, apparently it was the lid of my toolbox that had been caught in the wind and flown into it. So if that hadn't have happened,
right.
then I actually think it would have been all right. It was just bad luck. It was just
Uh-huh.
really bad luck. And it's not like a little toolbox. It's one of those Keta, the
Yes,
big chunky
yes, I know we've got
plastic.
one in the yards. So if that thing
Yeah,
kind of
so
went
that
in,
came off.
that's
Yeah, smashed
nobody's,
it.
because I was thinking before you sent the photographs over, and I'll kind of place them in here as well. I thought, I wonder if Soph's just actually bad luck again, put it in the
Mhm.
wrong place, and it's like a bit of a flat landscape wind tunnel. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
every time there's going to be I mean, I think every time there's going to be a storm,
you're
there's
gonna
going to
have
be
to
this.
try and do something. I know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But what can I do about it? Like, I don't really know what I can do, to be honest. I could build like something to disperse the wind.
I don't,
Um,
Soph, I mean, like you say,
it's
what
too
could, there's
open.
always, you always hear, and I always see when I woke up to mine, like bits of
Mhm.
panes of glass out of other ones, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
is there an answer? I honestly don't know. Do you know what I mean? But so what has damaged this time then with this? Because this door is probably,
Mhm.
I guess, 4 foot, 5 foot tall. You know what I mean? It's a big
Yeah,
door that's hit the
the
green. How did
greenhouse.
you know it was the door then? Just because the door was in the greenhouse?
Well, no, this is the annoying thing as well because I was trying the first time I was like, okay, I didn't check and I didn't brace everything. So, kind of, if anything happened, that was my fault because I didn't do storm checks or sort of try to mediate it before it happened. And so this time I knew Storm Aisha was coming. So I went down, I looked at everything that could possibly fly away. And because it was attached by hinges, I thought, oh, that'll be fine. And it locks in, it like locks
Uh-huh.
under. So I was like, I thought that'll be fine. So I even checked the toolbox before I left. And so it just adds insult to injury, really. But yeah, that flew off, smashed two panes. And then that's obviously the wind's gone in, blown the door off, and then two more panes come off. And I did put a wildlife camera in there to try and check it. sod's law, I've not put it on the right setting to capture anything, so I've come home, I'm like, "No." But luckily the plot neighbour next to me said that's what he came down and found the toolbox lid in like, smashed into the greenhouse, so that's how he
Right.
kinda knows what happened, yeah. So, just bad luck,
It
really
is, isn't
bad
it?
luck.
That's, do you know what I mean? It's just, so what we lost then? How many panes have we got to go and, so is the full door as well?
4 About 4 oh, yeah, I forgot to say. So, of the 2 panes that smashed from the roof, they flew over, like, 2 plots over, apparently.
Wow.
So I did go and clean up the glass from my neighbour's plot, but then apparently they brought back one completely intact pane
Right.
of glass, and I
Yeah.
was like, "This one just survived it." So it must have flown across 2 plots and just survived. So in the end, I only had to do, I think, 4 panes that needed to be replaced, which my plot neighbours have really kindly they've gone in today and repaired it for me because they had spare glass. And it's just, again, it's that kindness and it just helps with
Mhm.
the anxiety and the worry. So I can't be angry with it because I'm just so unfortunate. Yeah.
It's not that you can, it's just, but you get that kind of nervous giggle now, you know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. You know, every
Yeah.
storm now it's going to be, and I mean, I think every gardener has it. So, to be honest,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's one of them things to say, these storms seem to be like, I don't know if it's just because we're gardeners and we've got, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't know, you don't really notice them, or all you notice, normal people notice is, I never got a wink of sleep, that wind outside. Where for a
Oh, what is it?
gardener, you know, it's like kind of, my
Where's
garden's
all my stuff?
wrecked,
Yeah.
you know,
Have you so
so.
what's in term you get storms a lot worse than down here, I imagine.
Well, I'm not 100%. You see, I haven't been up. Sure, I don't know why my
Yeah.
telly's gone off there. Have you noticed me? It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
went off. But see, it's
Standby.
the wind up here. I haven't been up to have a
Yeah.
look,
You couldn't
and
know yet.
I did that exactly what you did. I did it, and I made a little video. I did that kind of check, all pick up little things and little things,
Yeah.
and then I put my video out, and then someone says, "Oh, you didn't move your wheelbarrow." And I went,
Did you
because
get back?
when I was up there, I was thinking, but that's not going to move. Move.
Mm,
And then, then I'm thinking, might bloody move that, you know
it
what I mean? 'Cause
might move.
I might move. So I might go straight I might have a wheelbarrow in the bloody
Oh,
polytunnel, do you know
no.
what I mean? So
I was gonna say, has your polytunnel ever been damaged from storms, or what's the worst kind of storm damage you've had on your plot?
me hut roof,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
about 4 years ago, it kind of lifted and I had this like plastic. Half the hut was like perspex glass. It was just
Yeah.
pure. It wasn't to kind of bring seedlings on or anything like that. It was just the way kind of me mum and dad kind of made it, or me mum and
Yeah.
stepdad made it. But that had flipped back and it all cracked. So I just kind of,
Oh, okay.
it was just kind of filled it with wood, kind of nailed it all down. Then I used
Yeah.
actually pond liner
Oh,
as,
yeah. Oh, just to contain it
yeah, just to kind of
so
wrapped
it
it
doesn't get
around
wet.
the roof and then braced it with, and it's touch wood, that's been fine. But
Oh, wow.
someone else mentioned, Tony didn't lock your door, and I cannot lock my door because the lock's broken. So
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
have
so
to
if the
have a
wind
little
gets
look up.
that,
You know what I mean? So
oh, I have my
it,
fingers crossed for you then. I really do.
storm, storm, storm. I'm trying to block that out. Don't even mention it. You know what I mean?
The thing about the storms though is I wasn't after that storm Henk, I was like, "Oh, I hope we got, like, a break from storms." But it's
Hmm.
just they're so consistent. We've had
Yes.
9 this year, apparently, since September. Not this year, since September. Just relentless. They don't
Well,
stop.
it's funny because like they say with this one, the big one we had, and then I was all right because, and then someone mentioned
Yeah.
also one in like
Another
12
one.
hours time, or you know what I mean, the next day.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know.
last night I heard the wind up here. Do you know what I mean? And your time when it really happened for you, I slept right through
Mm.
it.
Did you? I
Excuse
couldn't.
me. Yeah, I had the one of my best night's sleeps of the month. You know what I mean? And I had like a
No
message from
worries.
the daughter saying like they had to sleep in separate rooms because it was like they're on the
Too
corner
loud.
of a house and they have like their
Yeah.
plastic windows and it was just like all this kind of
Oh.
strange noise. So did you say your allotment friends? It's all fixed there now,
Yeah, yeah. Like, I
right?
just honestly, and I just don't know if how many guys still know from when I was on my old plot. and come into this new plot, it's just worlds of difference. I
Is it?
just the people you meet are just so lovely, like, everyone it's a proper community. It's a really lovely little
Uh-huh.
community, and I just you just meet the nicest people, so it's great.
Well,
Love it.
see, another kind of, not, I'm not saying tragedy, but of greenhouses, but
Mm,
it's if you do smash, there's always smashed glass to pick up. Now,
yeah.
on my plot, I remember when I first took it over, there was an old stone built hut thing
Oh, yeah.
and a little greenhouse. And I remember not even thinking, just smashing it all
Yeah.
down to take, and I didn't realize until I started trying to take it all away that smashed
Yeah.
glass. I was on forever
Yeah,
sifting
that's
like
it.
smashed glass through. You know what I mean? It was just like the worst possible
Especially
thing
if
I could
it's
have done.
tiny.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
I did
what about you then? How have you picked everything up, or is it?
I think so, but like you said, I've scoured it and I've picked out as many bits as I can, but the ground is so wet. I'm probably gonna be digging and then there'll be bits that come up
Mhm.
later on. So they've probably sunken down, and just been trodden in where I've not seen it, but I've tried my best, but I reckon there'll be
So
years to
it
come. I'll be just picking bits out.
it must be like normal glass then, because I know
Mm,
if my little greenhouse down there popped, it'll be that,
yeah,
when you get car windscreens that shut and it's all,
holds on.
it goes like like micro
Yeah,
little sizes. So I don't know how, you know what I mean? If, well, I
yeah.
suppose mine's on concrete, so I can sweep it up. But if that
When it's in
happened,
grass.
like toughened glass smash there, you'd be, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you have toughened glass. See, mine's not. Mine's just
Well, that was
horticultural
just,
glass, and
it
it
was
kind of
just, I tell you why, because it's
yeah.
right. I was just a little bit paranoid. It's about 3 foot from me kitchen door,
Mhm.
and I was thinking these daft dogs will just like run straight. You know what I mean? Can't see the greenhouse, just run straight
Yeah,
into it. And I was thinking that was
not
my
worth.
worry. So that was an
Mhm.
extra stupid amount. Do you know what I mean, for toughened glass? You know what I mean? And I think there was even like a one after that. So if like a, so there was normal
I
like
think I've seen it,
horticultural
yeah.
glass. Then there was
That's
toughened.
like the
There was
weakest, isn't it?
well, not
Horticultural,
weakest, but
then
just the I guess the norm, which is
mhm.
probably the easiest to pick up.
It is, yeah, I
I don't
think
know what
so.
the kind of expensive. I think it had something to do with like blocking sun rays or UV rays or something like that. But
Is that what it is? Okay.
it
Yeah,
didn't go for that option. So
absolutely not.
I,
It's just so expensive, isn't it? That's just half the battle. If you pay all this money for it, and then you're gonna have like nine storms in a year, it's disheartening a little bit.
what did you have anything in then? So have you got anything in growing in there or anything?
I did have some very sickly looking sweet peas that I've now taken out. So no, it's nothing. I wasn't too bothered about anything getting ruined in there.
Right. So
Mm.
it's fixed now.
Mhm.
When when are you thinking of taking stuff up then? Because again, I'm so naive with flowers. Do
Yeah.
flowers need heat?
Not really. So, well, I say not really. Depends what ones you're doing. So, kind of similar to what Audrey will probably be doing. I'll be doing some winter sowing. So, usually they tend to be anything that's kind of hardy, so it'll withstand most of the cold temperatures. So, anything like that, I can just whack in the greenhouse and not even have to worry about it.
Hmm.
So they're all right. They'll grow through the winter. It's just getting a head start on them, basically.
I'm looking forward to kind of the flowers ones. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I need to do a
well,
proper plan. I feel like I've planned it, but it needs to be done properly.
well, there'll be no plan with me. I'll just be copying. I'll just copy. You know what I mean? Like, so if we so now, right. You know what I
Get
mean?
them
Kind of.
in. I'll do a last minute reminder. Don't
Well, we're
forget.
gonna, like I say, we're gonna have that special JB sorting it out there now. So hopefully we'll get
Mm,
everyone that's on. That's it. Because I'm guessing
yeah.
maybe Hannah might be growing flowers as well. I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure. So it'd be
I think
nice
she
to
does.
kind of see her.
Yeah.
So anything else then, Soph? Is there any you have you been today to see your greenhouse? Oh, you that's right. You said you've
Yeah.
just been to clear the grass and then but you haven't
Oh, yeah.
physically seen.
Not physically seen it yet, but
So
I've got,
well, what
in
might happen
contact.
is then just say you have put your door on wrong. Your
Oh,
neighbours
no.
might, well, she's got this bloody door wrong, man. Here, come here, give us a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you
What's
never
she
know
done?
that it might be kind of, oh, it opens
It's
lovely now.
working, yeah. I wonder though, I just because, I don't know if you've seen Claire from Growing Plotty, sorry. her doors come off as well, same thing, like, just on the floor,
right.
in the storm. So I wonder if it's a halls thing. Might just get, like, a latch just to just make sure it's not coming
Mhm.
off. I
I'm
really don't
not.
know, it's weird.
It's funny, because in our kind of like back garden, what we call here at the house, the wind
Mm,
hurtles down, and didn't want to put the greenhouse there. But as soon as you open the backyard door, it hurtles in there. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of
yeah,
sometimes trying to
anything to do.
shut this back
Yeah.
because I'm thinking, bloody hell, man. Do you know what I mean? Just
Wipe the greenhouse away. There was greenhouses that did get wiped away, literally on train tracks. I think you were saying in the last potty
yes,
mouth, Jess said,
someone mentioned it was like a
"How
train
so?"
tracks and that. But I kind of
It
get
was
over what you.
intact.
It's what you just said there, though. How can
Mm.
a sheet of glass fly 2 allotments away? Even just
Oh, I
get
don't
to 2
know.
allotments away, but to stay in the one piece as well. Just
I have an image, I have, like, a little replay in my head of how I imagined it happened. So, it's come out of the top, and the wind's just, like, lightly caressed it in a little tornado and just let it down to the ground. That's like the only way I can think it's happened.
just
There's no other
bizarre.
way. It couldn't just be, like, flowing out at speed and just not smash.
You know, did it
Can't.
land then? Do you know if it landed on an allotment that was, like, well tended, or was it an allotment that was just, like, wicking grass, soft land and, weeds?
It would have been well tended,
Right,
but they don't have any, like, it's all just in-ground beds.
right.
There's no,
Like
like,
raised
structures or
beds.
anything. No, so nothing to sort of,
Right.
like, land quite harshly on. So that could have been a reason why. But I couldn't believe it when they said it. I was like, "What do you mean it's, like, flowing and just not smashed?" So weird.
Just bizarre, just bizarre. When you going
Really
back up again then to have another look?
Probably tomorrow, probably
Uh-huh.
go after work just to make sure. Can't hurt, can it? 'Cause we got storms again tonight, I think. I don't know if you
Right,
guys as well?
no, honestly, it's like they're coming too quick for us to keep an eye on now. I'm not even checking my weather app. So there's another
Yeah,
one tonight. So this is
yeah. I'm not
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday. We'll go, yeah, so it's from late tonight into Wednesday. I'm not sure if how but I can hear it now. It's building
Was
up.
that was I heard that? Was that the wind
Yeah,
there?
that's the wind. So it's building up again. I don't know if it'll be one of the named ones or not, but they're still saying there's gonna be strong winds.
Right.
So
So if I would just go on Amazon and just buy some bungee rope and just keep on
yeah.
like tying the whole greenhouse. Well,
So I've people have suggested that.
even if you
They
did
have
that though,
suggested.
you know what I mean? Your glass might rattle out and then just fall
Yeah.
3 foot
That's
down.
what I was thinking. I didn't
So,
understand when people were suggesting it. I didn't quite understand how I'd actually get that
uh-huh.
to help with anything.
Because I know
'Cause
you.
there's some
Well, I was just gonna
sorry, you go.
sorry, I was gonna say, I know you got some more clips. I think JB advised you to
Mm,
get like, and I did that
yeah,
mind as well. I just clip the hell and back. Do you know what I mean?
loads,
So
loads.
on the Hall's diagram, it's like 3 clips. And even on mine, I was
Absolutely.
thinking, that ain't gonna last. Do you know what I mean? So I think
Not
there's
enough.
23 clips, you know what I mean? On each pane, I just kind of
Yeah.
every time, every clip, there was another clip. So there's
Mhm.
almost like a clip touching a clip. You know what I mean? In the
Yes,
end, do you know what I
that's
mean?
what I did, yeah. So when I redid it the first time, I could hear JB in my head going, "Put more clips in."
Uh-huh.
So I literally went over and I just the whole front of it is like silver down one side now from all, like, the extra clips in it.
Well, I think was it JB as well mentioned, which I think would be an probably like the silicon in the glass.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great idea, but then at the same I don't the only thing that puts me off that is if I ever did want to move it, would that then mean I have to, like, scrape all the silicone off? Like, how easy is that to get
Hmm,
off?
hmm.
So I don't know, it sort of, like, limits me from if I need to move it or anything in the future, so
I'll tell you what, you
kinda
could.
hesitant.
Well, I was going to say, if the door's going to fall off, it's going to smash glass.
Mm,
So it doesn't matter if the silicon in or not, isn't it? Not. Do you know what I mean? But
that's
so
it.
do you know if the wind? I was going to ask you this then. So
Mm.
does the wind normally come from a certain direction? Because I know ours normally comes from the west. Like
See,
majority of our like
trying
wind,
to think. Someone did tell me the other day, I think it's southwesterly.
right?
Um, so I don't in terms of the orientation of my greenhouse, I don't know whether I've put it in like an absolute wind trap or not. I think I did ask when I first put it up, and everyone's like, "Doesn't matter here because it's so open. It's going to get hit by the wind no matter what direction it's
Hmm,
going in."
hmm.
So
And you
I just
and you
kind of
couldn't
put it up.
really. I was going to say. I was just thinking if you couldn't really like tuck it behind your polytunnel because then it might just kind of shred your polytunnel. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is what I'm thinking now because I was also told so of the 2 panels that come off the roof, one flew up as well, or no, it might have been the side one, flew up and smashed on the polytunnel, on the frame. So I'm thinking
Right.
if that happens again when I've got the cover on, that probably you're right, it probably will shred
Also, you
through it.
haven't got the
So
plastic on yet for the
no,
right,
no.
right.
Oh, no.
I was gonna honestly, so there, I was gonna think, Mother Chuck, you're one. I know you're unlucky, but you're one of the luckiest if it landed and just smashed on your frame
Just
and didn't.
woo.
No, right. Also, it smashed on. How
Yeah, so
far? How
I'm
far are they apart then? Polytunnel and because that we on our allotments, mind you,
yeah,
they jammed up close, so there's no.
okay.
You know what I
That's good
mean?
because that's what I've done. I put them like they've probably got less than a foot apart from each other. I
Right.
thought that was a good idea, but now I'm kind of thinking, is maybe not. Maybe I should rethink that.
I'm just, that does sound a little bit close, mind you, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
how you?
it does.
How,
I've done it wrong.
I would keep that name. I would keep that name, the
Yeah,
allotment you know what I mean? There's no need to
yeah.
change that. Those off. How,
Absolutely not.
how are you gonna put your plastic or your poly? Are you putting your plastic or your polytunnel on like wood slats around and tightening it? Are you digging it in, trenching it?
I think I'm gonna do wood slats, but
I think you'll have to
again,
because the
I
greenhouse is
think
in the bloody way.
I'm gonna well, this was my idea. So put the cover on. It's like got a foot away from greenhouse to actual polytunnel frame. Put the cover on, and then put the wood slats on top of the cover, and then sort of pin it down that way. I
Right.
don't know if that's going to work. Now I'm thinking about it. These are all issues for future, Sophie.
Yeah. We'll have a chat with future Sophie to see what she's done.
Yeah.
I mean, what you could, and I have seen on in some of our allotments at the back of me where they have like
Mhm.
netting right up high. And I don't know if it's to
No.
stop like kids throwing stones onto the polytunnels or
Okay.
but you could always do something like that. You know, if you were like
Yeah.
terrified glass is gonna
Almost like
be bad.
a post over
Yeah,
the
just post with
polytunnel and
like
doing that.
kind of like fishing netting, you know, across
Mm,
like a lot of
okay.
like fishing, like it's a old fishing villages. So there's a lot of like
Yeah.
fishing nets get used. So,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, maybe
That's a great
something like
idea, actually.
but
Yeah. It's hard though, isn't it? 'Cause I mean, I don't know, worrying about your greenhouse is one thing, but I can't imagine the stress of someone, say, like you with a polytunnel
mhm.
or even I mean, your polytunnel is probably a little bit more structurally sound than the green ones.
Well,
Anyone that's got a green
I
one.
guess if a storm's going to get it, it's going to get it. And that, you know,
Mm,
look at JB when he's and Badgers went through. When I seen that hole and I didn't know the
yeah,
story of it, I was just thinking, that's knackered, knackered. But he just
yeah,
sellotaped it
fix
up.
it.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Just you know,
keep
so
the wind out, isn't it?
so I wouldn't
Yeah,
probably worry about that. My only thing is that that's very close to your greenhouse. That's all out. You know what I mean? Kind of.
yeah.
But it's,
I'm
I
thinking
guess,
now I'm thinking about it, it's
yes,
yeah,
you
it's
know,
probably not a
but
good idea.
trying to try and move that now is, you know, it's
The
you'll probably
polytunnel's
lose
not
the
too bad.
season.
Polytunnel's not too bad. It's,
No, I don't mean move the
um
poly. I mean move the greenhouse. Which
oh,
one?
yeah,
If you
that
were
would
gonna
be
if you were gonna move one, which one would you move then? The polytunnel.
polytunnel. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
it's just the
No.
frame, isn't it? Me and someone else could pick that up and just walk around with it. It's not
All
heavy.
right.
It's not like a First Tunnels one. It is literally just one of the hobby green ones.
Right.
So it weighs next to nothing. I've got a big enough space on the other side, but I was gonna use that for dahlias, but I could
But
change it if it
so
needs
then
to.
one of them green ones though, have they not? Is that the green ones where it's like little squares?
Yes,
Well, that is
yeah, one of
that I'm
those.
sure that plastic's quite tough. I would have thought that
Do you
almost like
think?
canvas. You know what I mean? So,
If you can get it tight enough, isn't it, though? Because some
well,
I'm not sure. I've seen, people that get the ones that aren't as structurally sound, they mod them. So they'll put, like, extra, like, bamboo canes over the
right.
top just to give it stop it from sagging. Obviously putting in some larger posts on each corner and making sure they're strapped in, so I was gonna do that as well. Just all these little tiny mods that you can do to them to make them last a bit longer. Because you couldn't just whack one up and just hope for the best, because
Hmm.
they are gonna get pulled down in the storms.
You got to
There's
pimp
no
them up.
way.
You got to pimp them up
Yeah,
there. So,
yeah, you
yes,
do.
yes. He will so
Absolutely
it's
do.
just the joys of gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
know what I mean?
that's the funny thing, you start off with one plant, you're like, "Oh, this is fun, this is great," and then you start getting into it more and more, and you upgrade, you go, "Oh, I'll get a greenhouse, oh, I'll get a polytunnel," and all these extra worries come along with it, and you're like, "Well,
Well,
how did I get
especially,
here?"
you know, again, especially for you, this is a it's brand new greenhouse. Do you know what I mean? It's
Less
kind
than a
of,
year oh, no, it'll be a year old. It'll be a year old
yeah,
now,
you know what I
give
mean?
and
Well,
take.
it's,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're a lot of money. And first little win, I'm not saying little win comes along, you know, the door pops
Mm.
off, then it's, you know, and it's just like, you don't
Yeah,
need
I
this.
wasn't
You know what I mean?
expecting less than a first year for it to start
Mm.
smashing already. That's what I mean, I was quietly confident. I was like, "Oh, mine will be fine." I got there, I was like, "No, it is not fine.
Oh
This is bad.
no, no. This
No,
looks
not
very
good."
hard. Are you going to move your? Are you going to just before we shoot off? Are you going to move your toolbox or you?
I
Is that?
think yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. But then, my other plot neighbour's greenhouse is at the bottom of the plot, so I couldn't have it there because I'd feel even worse if something happened to someone else's if something
Mhm.
I had caused damage to someone else's stuff. I think that's almost worse than it happening just to something you own. You just
What
yeah.
size is the? Could you not put it in the polytunnel and use it as like a seat bench, workbench?
I Yep, I could
Yeah,
do that actually, and I think I might.
aye. Just
Absolutely could
there
do
you
that.
go. There you go.
Didn't think of it. There you go. Thank you, Tony.
Oh, anytime. Do you know what I mean? I'm here all
Good
week.
idea.
Well, just because
No.
I've got one of these kind of like
Yeah,
just bench things, and it's, I mean, I cannot really move it, but I was just thinking, I wonder if just put it at the back of the polytunnel.
yeah.
You know what
Just
I
have
mean?
it stuck there. That's a brilliant
Uh-huh.
idea. Wasn't sure what I was gonna put there, to be honest. I haven't thought it out, so I
There you
think that's
go.
yeah.
There you
Thank you
go.
very
So
much.
on that note, then, listen, Sophie, it's
Yes.
been lovely talking to you, and I'm so like good at it's happened, and it's happened once, twice, three times there now.
Oh, don't
You
say
want
3 times. Let's hope it's not 3 times.
Well, I'm counting the door. I'm counting the door that
Oh,
fell
okay,
off the,
yeah.
you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
But
the
it
fir
has
yeah.
happened three times, so don't
It
get away
has
from
no.
that. Yes, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
no.
Don't want to hear any more. I don't want you back on here again, with the title Greenhouse
Greenhouse
Wars,
smashed.
Part 4.
Oh, hope
Right. Oh,
not.
well,
Fingers crossed.
Soph, it's been lovely having you on. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Take care, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on Monday. Toodle pip.